right? You all right? Lauderdale Airport, right?
Correct, yeah. 13. Working today.
Signal stored.
Didn't wait for a while. Better than running into that car.
Yeah, much better.
The guy
He took off and stopped, and it's like, whoa.
No, that was my fault. I'm looking to see what's going on over here. There's not supposed to be traffic on this bridge.
Oh.
Should have stayed in there.
must be an accident up here.
I don't know. This is the express lane. This is supposed to be quick. I have to pay to drive in this lane.
Tell him you want a refund.
That ain't gonna happen.
That ain't gonna work, huh?
Could be just somebody driving slow. That happens. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't pass in this lane, so if somebody wants to go 30 miles an hour, there's nothing you can do.
Oh, Lord help us.
And they're in the express lane.
Yeah, they don't matter.
Well, they probably got in it by accident.
Yeah. Yeah, panicking.
and it's telling them to get off, and they can't get off.
Right.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Was this all this construction supposed to be done? Never.
No, it's about halfway done.
Done.
It's been about, I'd say it's about a 15-year project,
Oh.
and it's about halfway done. Yeah,
And it's time for me to begin again.
15-year project. Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
It's a long time.
I mean, they're building a double-decker highway. I mean, I don't know if anybody in America ever even tried to do it, but they're
No.
doing it. They're building a double-decker. In other words,
Yeah.
on I-95,
It's gonna be.
they're building 2 stories
Ooh.
because there's water. It goes over water, and they can't make it wider.
Right. So they
So
gotta
they're
go
doing
up.
a double-decker, yeah. And all the other highways are going to connect to that double-decker highway. And they can't shut the highway while they're building it,
Yeah.
which is, they got helicopters dropping generators and dropping steel, and helicopters are helping with the construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a first also. I never seen that before.
Right.
That's like military stuff.
Yeah.
Inbound. Lock out this signal stored.
So it must be construction. Must be a lot of traffic at nighttime too, huh?
A lot of times at night they close the highways. A lot of drivers we get updates because there's certain work that they can't do while the highway's open. So they close the highways, and then we have to look for alternate ways. Yeah. So at night sometimes it takes longer at night because they know it's less traffic. Nobody's going to work. It's mostly people just going out for dinner and partying and maybe traveling.
Yeah.
So they'll take this lane to one lane with cones, one lane, and then they'll do work.
Or it is, yeah.
Like they got a double decker this wall right here. They're gonna stop this all to do that. All these walls in the middle are getting double deckered, so cars don't flip over when they get into the accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll see there's probably some double decker that they did over here, but all of this is going to be double high concrete in the middle. Yeah, it looks like it was just somebody going slow.
Yeah. And having a little heart attack because they're in the wrong lane.
Yeah, because the GPS, see all the white cones?
Yeah.
These are all the brand new cones they put in every night. They're kind of gluing cones in here because people are going over them.
Oh.
So the original cones were orange. Then they were too thin. They were getting chopped up and thrown in the air. So then they put the white ones, which were thicker, and they still get thrown in the air, but not as easy. And then every now and then you'll see a new white one,
Yeah.
which are the ones that get glued down at night. So almost every night,
They're gluing. So.
at 4 in the morning, there's a bunch missing right here.
Yeah.
A truck will come in this lane, and the guys will hang off the back of the truck, one with a flamethrower to heat up the asphalt, the other guy with a big epoxy gun, and the other guy, whoop, and the truck just goes slow, and 3 guys are all just going to work, just replacing these cones. These look like they were just put in last night, some of them. See? But what happens is people get into this lane by mistake because the GPS doesn't tell you about this lane or that lane. And then what if you have to get off here? Your GPS is telling you get off in a mile, and look, there's people are just going right over here and going over the cones, or they see an opening because the cones are missing, and they think that's the opening to go over. And that's what makes this the most dangerous part of the most dangerous highway in America, is these cones and this express lane. And GPS is not helping, it's hurting, because it doesn't say stay to your right. It just says get on the highway. It doesn't say not to get in this lane.
Right.
I guess them things that sticking up are not metal, huh? Plastic.
Well, they can't do that either because when there's an accident, the tow truck and the fire engine need to get in here. So that it's made to be driven over, but just not by the average person. But the first responders need to go over there. The police need to go over there.
Yeah.
So if there was a gate and it was a 30, 20 mile gate, the police can't be expected to go all the way to the beginning and go back. They got to get right on in an emergency. So the police go over them a lot. Plus, when there's an accident here, the police expect you to go over the cones. And some guys with sports cars to say no, and the police make them go over the cones and make them ruin the car. So if you get in this lane, people don't know it, but if there's an accident and the police are making you go over those cones, because they'll put cones on this side so the traffic will merge and then you could merge, you have to go over the cones. They don't take the cones up with a saw, which they should do.
Yeah,
they make you go right over them. And some people with $100,000 cars or even $1 million cars ruin their car because they have to go over them. Yeah. People are suing about that right now. They're suing because the damage to their cars are unbelievable. It doesn't hurt a truck like this, but most people have plastic bumpers, and most sports cars have spoilers that cost a fortune, and it does wreck the spoiler because the only way it really bends is when you hit it at a height. If you don't hit it at a certain height, it's really stiff and rigid, and the spoiler is only this high off the ground. So if a spoiler hits it, it ruins the whole car. It ruins the whole front end of the spoiler, and very expensive to fix all that and replace all that. And there's people that are putting their blinkers on, not going over, and the police are saying, we're just going to tow your car. You're not going to get arrested, but we're going to tow your car.
Yeah.
You can't wait. They won't let you wait until the accident's over because they think it's too dangerous to stay in this lane. So they'll just call the tow truck will tow the car. And then the tow truck will go over the cones, but at least it'll be the flatbed, so it won't hurt the car, The car doesn't get that, and then the owner has to pay for that. So they do let them do that. If you don't want to go over the cones, we'll call the flatbed for you, and we'll flatbed your car. But the guy's whole day is ruined then. It takes hours to go do that.
Yeah.
Then it takes a half a day to do that, and then to go pick up your car, and then you got to get in the car with the tow truck company. Yeah.
K8 out.
That's one of the reasons why I like driving this kind of van, is because it's got metal bumpers, and the other vans have plastic bumpers, and they really get scuffed up. That plastic gets really scuffed up, whether it's painted or not, and you feel guilty about doing that to the van, going over these cones, because sometimes you have to. I mean, sometimes, like I said, if this is blocked off, you have no choice. Especially when people are going to the airport and stuff, you really have no choice but to get out of this lane. But with this van, it's really no problem. It goes right over them, no problem.
K8 out.
But the other vans, it does damage the bumper. Yeah, it cuts the bumper. It ends here because we're in Fort Lauderdale. That express lane is from Miami to Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
So now we're in Fort Lauderdale, so it ends. And then it starts again after the airport to go to Boca. So if you want to take the express lane to Boca, you can take the express lane to Boca. And then there is no more express lane because there's not that much traffic up north. The traffic is all down here.
Yeah.
See here, they're making it wider. You see, they already made it wider.
Yep.
They're just waiting to open it. Planes land right over the highway over here. Watch this plane first, straight ahead. It's about 50 feet off the highway. Watch out! Yeah, watch how low it is when it goes over this highway.
Oh, this one.
See that plane? Looks like it's gonna crash, right?
Yeah.
When you're underneath it, you feel it, you hear it. Yeah, look at that.
Oh.
I mean, the runway's over there.
Yeah.
You know.
That's weird.
I think it's weird when that's even closer.
And what's really weird is, it's a weird thing to talk about, but when they built these highways and runways, I don't think there was even a weapon that could shoot a plane out of the air back when they designed this highway and that
Right.
airport. The technology to shoot something like out of the air wasn't there. But over the years, they have grenade launchers and different shoulder-mounted missiles that you see the terrorists use.
Yeah.
Luckily, nobody's doing that in this country,
Thank God.
but you would never want to design an airport and a highway where you could just literally put the blinkers on, go on the side of the road, pop out of your sunroof, and shoot that plane. And you wouldn't have an easier shot than it coming right over this way. This is
Yeah.
where it came. The plane is right somewhere right down that runway right there. That's the runway. And if you look to the left, normally every 30 seconds a plane is coming. I just see one now.
K8
And the same thing in Miami. In Miami, it goes right over the highway. And I can't help but think, thank God we don't have people in this country that want to do that, because it's the easy in South Florida. It's the easiest
block out this signal
that I've ever
stored.
seen. When the planes take off, they take off that way. So there's the plane taking off. So it lands this way and it takes off over the ocean. There's a Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas is here today, straight ahead. I think I'm driving people there later.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Let me
People are
see.
taking off.
No, I'm going to Celebrity Reflection, but that's Port Everglades, so you might see some cruise ships over here. Celebrities behind over here, but usually there's a big Royal Caribbean over here. Usually Oasis of the Seas is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Celebrity right there with the X.
Yeah. Oh, I see them.
Yeah, that's Celebrity Reflection. Yeah. I gotta go there now.
Pick somebody up or
Yeah,
bring somebody?
pick somebody up and bring them to Miami. They're actually, these people live on cruise ships.
Oh.
They spend $3,300 a month. $3,300 a month, and then they go back and forth from.
The two
Yeah,
ports?
like sometimes they'll get off here and get on another ship. Then they'll once a month I bring them to Miami. They'll get on a couple of ships, and then
Oh, boy.
once a month they're going back and forth from Fort Lauderdale to Miami to get on one of the other ships. They pay like $100 a day, $120 a day. There are 2 senior citizen couples, 4 people,
Oh yeah.
and they live in a retirement community in Tamarack.
Oh.
And they've been on the ship for like a year now. They don't get
How
off.
do they do laundry? Although I'm guessing there's a laundry service.
Yeah, you put the laundry out at night
They
in
do
a
the
bag
laundry.
on your door, and then they take it,
Oh,
and then
okay.
when you wake up, it's clean. And
Oh.
they do it while you're sleeping, yeah. Yeah, I've been picking these people up for about 5 years, and they do like 6 months to a year on the ship, and then they go home for another 6 months, and then they go back. They say they like it for the doctors, and they say the prescriptions are cheap.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're Canadian. I think that has something to do with it too. They're French Canadian. Yeah. What airline you guys going to?
Southwest.
All right, we're here.
Here goes one. That's United.
Yeah.
We're going Southwest.
Right. Well, we're right here. What number 1?
Back to Chicago.
All right. We'll see you next year.
My husband and I fly back to Florida in December. We're going to Disney.
Oh yeah, in Orlando.
Yep. We're staying at Disney World
You're
with
staying-
it's our son and his husband and then my son-in-law's
And they just got
mom,
something brand new over there,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah, they
Everybody's
got a bunch
talking
of
about it.
They got a bunch of brand new stuff.
Yeah.
We go every other year and they have always got new stuff.
Yeah, we have a train now, the Brightline train. Have you heard
Uh-huh.
of it? Yeah, the Brightline.
Yeah.
Richard Branson from Virgin Atlantic owns it,
Yeah.
or at least he might have sold it. But it goes from Miami to Fort Lauderdale to Boca to Palm Beach to Orlando, and a lot of people in South Florida go to the train over there to go to Orlando, and a lot of people from Orlando take the train here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back December 6th. Right.
Check your luggage.
You can give them your luggage if you want, yeah. Otherwise, you're going to go in this door right behind us, the
Okay.
door there.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. He's got to get a wheelchair, so my husband gets a wheelchair.
Scoot over so I can get these seatbelts out. Everybody look up here. Watch your head when you get out. You'll hit your head up here.
Yeah, but that's fine.